Mark it down. They're still doing the gimmick in December.
Only if they have Bailey dressed as a stormtrooper.
No, you don't understand the joke. You don't get the joke. Tyler Breeze dresses in drag in every one of their bits. That's where the joke is. That's what the joke is.
Okay, now which Princess Leia are we talking about?
I don't care. It's Tyler Breeze. I really don't care.
The first one, just so you can see the staple cinnamon buns to his head.
Oh, why not? So anyway, moving on to Epcot Center.
Yes, Ratatouille, Guardians of the Galaxy rides, and an updated Future World.
Yeah, they're finally updating Future World at Epcot Center. Finally! It took them 20 years. They're finally going to update the damn thing. Yeah, they're
going into the future now.
Yeah, the Guardians of the Galaxy thing, it's been such a hit in California.
Yeah.
That they they took a Tower of Terror out in California and they made it into a Guardians of the Galaxy ride.
Oh.
And it's been such a hit.
They really you
didn't know about that? You didn't know about that?
No.
Yeah, they redid Tower of Terror in California and made it into a Guardians of the Galaxy ride.
Okay.
It's still going on in Florida, but they took it out in California.
Wow. Okay.
I'm torn.
Well, the other thing they're doing in Florida, because they're changing over, they're going to change Hollywood studios. They're changing things in Florida.
Right.
The Great Movie Ride is closing.
Oh.
After all these years.
I vaguely remember that when I went to Florida.
Yeah, so that's closing. So that's a lot of people are kind of upset, but they don't realize what's going on at Hollywood Studios is they're expanding it and putting Star Wars land there. So it's kind of a weird feeling of like, well, they're expanding, but they're closing classic stuff. So it's a weird situation going on right now down there. Speaking of expanding, Sal, go ahead.
This one's amazing. Toy Story World will open next summer 2018 in Disney World.
Yes, and from what I've heard, this is what I've heard, much like in Cars Land in Disney California Adventure, where you walk in and suddenly you're pretty much in Cars. You're in Radiator Springs.
Yeah. Yes, you are.
From what I've heard, you walk in, and they're going to make everything to the fact that you're the size of a toy.
Yeah.
It makes me think of the Honey I Shrunk the Kids thing.
Except bigger. This is going to be bigger, and it's going to be you are the size of a toy, and you get to interact with the toys.
And there's no giant Cheerios.
And everything around you, it's like Andy's room kind of thing, or like whatever they're going to plan on doing. But like that's what they're doing.
Probably Bonnie's room.
Or both. Or they could do both.
Yeah.
They could do two separate parts of this. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do yet, but what's the plan.
I would say they probably go with Andy's room because it's more iconic.
Yeah, you could do both, but Andy's room is the iconic one.
Yeah.
So, Sal, this is really exciting. I like this one a lot. So I mentioned DCA and Cars Land and Buena Vista Street out there. They're adding something else to DCA.
Yes, and they are adding a Marvel-themed park.
Yeah, they're expanding DCA one more time.
Yeah.
Good, Sal. You say something?
They're adding a Marvel-themed park.
Yeah, this is exciting. I'm intrigued. They haven't given any details yet, but that was one of the announcements that the park attraction pavilion thing they did. That's a big deal. If they expand DCA again, that's a very big deal. So, on one thing I forgot to write in here, speaking of park stuff, in Disney World, they are going to be adding a Tron ride, which is intriguing. I'm intrigued by that one.
I did hear about that, yeah.
It's nice to see they still respect Tron despite the fact they canceled the sequel after Tomorrowland underperformed.
Yeah, so that's cool. All right, so we have a little bit of movie news coming out of Aladdin. So,
yes, we have what's his face, Alan Menken.
Alan Menken, the legend. That legend.
Yeah, announced that what is it, Pasek and Paul?
Yes.
Yes, they will co-write new songs for the live-action Aladdin movie. I did not know that.
So what's going on is for Little Mermaid, when they're doing Little Mermaid, they're getting Lin-Manuel Miranda is coming in and teaming up with Alan Menken for a new song for Little Mermaid. Pasek and Paul, who people, if you're wondering who Pasek and Paul is, they're the guys behind La La Land and Dear Evan Hansen. So they're a pretty big deal right now. They're teaming up with Alan Menken for new songs for Aladdin.
So is Lin-Manuel going to be playing Prince Eric?
No, he's not. He's writing stuff. Speaking of Aladdin,
I could kind of see him as Prince Eric.
Speaking of Aladdin, we have a cast for the new Aladdin, and they went with a no-name to be Aladdin. So go ahead.
Yeah, Disney announced the cast. We have newcomer now. I don't know, Mena Massoud.
It sounds good to me. I don't know either.
Yeah. Will play Aladdin. Naomi Scott will play Jasmine, and Will Smith will be playing the genie.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Well, Naomi Scott, for those who are wondering if you're doing who's Naomi Scott, why does that name sound familiar? She was the Pink Ranger in the Power Rangers movie. So I just want to clarify that for people that don't know who she is. I recognized her immediately. Hey, that's the Pink Ranger. Wait a second, I know her. Well, Will Smith is the genie. This has been rumored for a while. How do you feel about Will Smith playing the genie? And the thing with the genie for me, Robin Williams is Robin Williams.
Oh, yeah.
But, as proven on Broadway, there's a way to do the genie without being Robin Williams. So it is possible to do this if you do it right. I just don't know how I feel about Will Smith being the genie. Like, how do you feel, Kyle?
Yeah, I'm not sure how to feel about this. I really am.
You're torn?
Yeah, very much torn. I like Will Smith, but how can you top Robin Williams?
Again, though, you can't compare it. Because, like I said, on Broadway, the fucking guy won a Tony Award for his rendition of the genie. So, you never know. Sal, what do you think?
I'm the same way. I don't necessarily think Will Smith is a great choice, but I mean, then again, he's a very good actor, so we'll see what we can do with his version.
And we get to hear Will Smith sing, maybe? Again, it's been a long time. It's been a long time.
So the genie going to get jiggy with it?
Could help yourself with that one, could you?
He's going to nod his head to the Men in Black.
Oh, jeez. You guys good now? You guys good? You guys good?
Miami, Nightmare on My Street.
Oh, jeez. All right, I just realized we've gone long as expected today. Let's hit the music and start getting out of here. So how's that
Actually,
sound?
I've got one more news item to discuss.
Okay, go ahead.
George Romero, the writer-director of movies like Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Night Riders, The Crazies, Martin, he died Monday.
Oh.
He was 77.
Well, that's a sad way to end our segment here.
And much has been said of his work in redefining the horror genre.
Okay.
But I actually credit him for broadening my horizons in terms of taste in film. Up until like 8th grade, I was afraid to watch horror movies because I was a very cowardly child. And then while flipping channels with my best friend, we came across the original Night of the Living Dead, and it was scary, but it was also an incredibly interesting watch. And I wound up seeking out more horror movies, and
well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So there you go.
Sal, your thoughts?
It was really sad. I mean, was he ill, or was this just a natural thing?
I think it was natural causes. Hold on, I will actually take a look.
So I'm not a big horror movie guy, so to me it's kind of like, okay, I'll let Kyle have this one, because I'm not a big horror movie guy. Never have been.
Yeah, but I mean, he was a big name, though,
Yeah, legendary.
It was lung cancer.
Oh, that sucks. Cancer just sucks, let's be honest here in general. So, Sal, I think now on that note, we should end the show. How's that sound?
Yeah, now let's end.
All right, Sal, first of all, what are we closing the show with?
A very different sounding Kesha, talking about her terrible and awful experience she had with that whole Dr. Luke thing and the rape and all that fun stuff. The song's called Praying. As I said, it's a very different sounding Kesha. It's a very powerful song, and it's off her new album that's finally coming out.
Oh, I like this. It's actually really low key for her. I like it. So, all right, that's our show. Wrap it up, Sal. Let's do it.
Our show is a part of the Filling the Void podcast network, available on iHeartRadio, Spreaker Radio, Apple Podcasts. God damn it, I hate that. Google Play, Stitcher Radio, Player FM, TuneIn Radio, and SoundCloud.
I bet you look at used to that one, Sal. You really will. For years it's been iTunes, and I had to change it. For more information on our show, go to theblakeandsalshow.com, our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages, and comment or leave a rating and review, and we'll read it on the show. Sal, anything else you'd like to plug before we get out of here?
Yeah, just once again, I want to plug a very good friend of mine. He's doing a group on Facebook called the Club Iffy Creative Community, and it's just a place where, creative people can get together and collaborate. So definitely check it out if that's something that you're interested in.
Yeah, so there you go. Next week, kind of an extra show that wasn't planned until literally late last night. Next week, Sal's off, but an interesting show next week. I'm going to be sitting down with Frankie DeFranco, and he will be running down the card for the State Fair show. That's going to be going on next week.
Nice.
So he's going to, because they're announcing the card on Friday. If you're listening to this Friday night, they're going to be announcing the card at Knights of Columbus, and then he's going to come on the show next week to tell us the card here. So that'd be cool. Also,
nice.
I'm going to be talking to, for the second appearance ever on the show, Kevin Eastman is coming back on the show. I'm involved in a big presser to talk about his Kickstarter campaign that's starting August 1st. So that'll be next week.
Right.
So I do want to get a plug out here real quickly. If you're looking for San Diego Comic-Con news, we're not going to be covering it here on the show. Also on the network is Nerd Herders, which comes on, and we're on Friday mornings. They're on Friday nights. They do a live show. They're going to be doing full coverage of the San Diego Comic-Con. So go over there and listen to their show on the network. So we're helping our network show out. Nerd Herders, go listen to them.
Nice.
So help them out, and we will be covering Comic-Con like we covered the D23 Expo. So there you go.
Nice.
So, all that being said, on behalf of Kyle, say goodbye.
Goodbye, Kyle.
And Kim for calling in that interview. That was really cool. I'm Blake.
Sal.
And you've been listening to The Blake and Sal Show. Have a good day, everyone.
See ya.